Good morning, students. We had been reading the chapter The Necklace. In the first part, we had read about the main character of our story, Matilda, who is a dreamy woman, pretty but born in a family of clerk, and she is always unhappy because of the uh, poverty she thinks she is facing. Then she gets invitation. Her husband comes home very happy with the invitation from the minister's home, but she is not happy, telling him about she doesn't have any dress to wear. Then the problem of new dress was solved. Her husband gave her 400 francs, which he had been saving to buy a gun for him. Even then she was not happy about the jewelry, so that problem also solved. A diamond necklace was borrowed from her friend Madame Forestier. Then Matilda goes to the party, very happy she is there. She was full of joy, she danced the whole night. Then coming back from home, up to here we have read when they reached home back from the party, Matilda removed the wraps from her shoulders before the glass, before the mirror. She wanted to have a final look over herself, but suddenly she shouted. Her necklace was not around her neck, it had been lost. Now, from here, let's read the second part. Loisel, already half undressed, asked. He was changing his clothes. He asked, "What is the matter?" When she heard the cry, he asked, "What is the matter?" She turned towards him excitedly. I have, I have, I no longer have Ma'am Forestier's necklace. He arose in dismay. What? How is that? It is not possible. And they looked in the folds of the dress, in the folds of the cloak, in the pockets, everywhere. They could not find it. He asked, "You are sure you still had it when we left the minister's home? At that time, when we left, are you sure you had it?" "Yes, I felt it as we came out." "But if you had lost it in the street, we should have heard it fall. It must be in the cab." Husband said, "Yes, it is possible. Did you take the number?" "Number of the taxi, number of the cab." "No, and you? Did you notice what it was?" "No, nobody noticed." They looked at each other, utterly cast down, very disappointed. Said. Finally, Loisel dressed himself again. "I am going," he said, "over the track where we went on foot to see if I can find it. To that path where we had been walking on foot. Maybe I can find it, so I am going back." And he went. She remembered. She remained in her evening gown, did not change, not having the force to go to bed. Towards 7 o'clock, her husband returned. He had found nothing. He went to the police and to the cab offices and put an advertisement in the newspapers offering a reward, whatever he could do. He even put an advertisement in the newspaper. Whoever could find it would get some reward. She waited all day in the state of bewilderment, amazement, and a shock before his frightful disaster. Loisel returned in the evening, his face pale, he had discovered nothing. He said, "Write to your friend that you have broken the clasp of the necklace and that you will have it repaired. That will give us time." So, he suggested till the time we could find it, just tell your friend Madame Forestier that its clasp had been broken. A hook, the clasp of the necklace had been broken and we have given it to repair. Just tell this to her. It will give us some time so that we can look for it. She wrote as he dictated, as he told. She wrote like this, a note to Madame Forestier. At the end of a week, they had lost all hope. The whole week went, but they did not find. And Loisel, older by 5 years, declared, "We must replace this jewel." Now, within 1 week only, because of that worry and all the efforts he had been making, he was looking now 5 years older. But he said, we must replace this jewel. In place of that, we have to give another one. In a shop of Palace Royal, they found a chaplet of diamonds. Chaplet means garland, necklace kind of, which seemed to them exactly like the one they had lost. It was looking just like the one they lost, and it was valued at 40,000 francs. The cost of it was 40,000 francs. They could get it for 36,000. Means after some discount, maybe some after bargaining, they could get it for 36,000. Loisel possessed 18,000 francs, which his father had left him. Total savings what he had 18,000, father left. He borrowed the rest of the money. He made ruinous promises, promising everybody, borrowing the money and promising every kind that he would pay it back. He took money from the usurers and the whole race of lenders. Usurers means those money lenders which lend money on a very high rate of interest. So, all kind of people he took money. Then he went to get the new necklace, depositing on the merchant's counter 36,000 francs. When Madame Loisel took back the jewels to Madame Forestier, the latter means the Madame Forestier said to her in a frigid tone, "You should have returned them to me sooner, for I might have needed them. You took a long time to return. I might needed them earlier also. You should have returned them earlier." Madame Forestier did not open the jewel box, as Madame Loisel feared she would. She was thinking maybe she opens and she finds it is not another one, her own. Maybe she recognizes, but she did not open it. What would she think if she should perceive the substitution? She was thinking if she recognizes, she looks at it very closely and she finds out that it is not her own, what she would think? What should she say? Would she take her for a robber? Means would she think she is a robber? Means she has stolen and she has given another one. Madame Loisel now knew the horrible life of necessity. Means after that she had to live a horrible life of necessity. Poor life. She did her part, however, completely, heroically. It was necessary to pay this frightful debt. Whatever money they have borrowed, they had to pay that. She would pay it. They sent away the maid. They changed their lodgings. They rented some rooms in an attic. The whole life was changed. The maid who was working for them in their home, they left it. They changed their home also. They just rented some rooms in the attic of some house. She learned the odious work of a kitchen, the tired some work of a kitchen. She washed the dishes in different homes. She washed the soiled linen, the dirty clothes. Their clothes and dish clothes which she hung on the line to dry. She took down the refuse to the street each morning and brought up the water, stopping at each landing to catch her breath. And clothed like a woman of the people, she went to the grocers, the butchers, and the fruiterers with her basket on her arm, shopping, haggling, means bargaining to the last sou of her miserable money. Sou is currency, it is part of franc. Some sou make franc, make 1 franc. So, for each like we say, you can say for each paisa, he was bargaining to everyone. The husband worked evenings, putting the books of some merchants in order, and nights he often did copying at 5 saws a page. And this life lasted for 10 years. For 10 years, they had to work like this. At the end of 10 years, they had restored all, means they paid all the debt, they paid all the money they had borrowed. Madame Loisel seemed old now. After those 10 years, she had become a strong, hard woman, the crude woman of the poor household, means rough, poor homes. Her hair badly dressed, her skirts awry, not ironed, her hands red because of the hard work. She spoke in a loud tone and washed the floors with large pails of water, with the large buckets of water, washing the floors. But sometimes when her husband was at the office, she would seat herself before the window and think of that evening party of former times. Sometime he used to remember that party of that ball dance, where she was so beautiful and so flattered, and now thinking aloud, now look at her, how much it has been changed. How would it have been if she had not lost the necklace? She would imagine if she had not lost the necklace, the things would have been different. Who knows? How singular is life, how lonely and how full of changes. How small a thing will ruin or save one. A small thing can ruin, destroy your life or save your life. One Sunday, as she was taking a walk in the Champs Elysees to rid herself of the cares of the week on a street in France, she was just walking in the evening. She suddenly perceived a woman walking with a child. She suddenly noticed a woman walking with a child. It was Madame Forestier, still young, still pretty, still attractive. Madame Loisel was affected. She was impressed, looking at Madame Forestier, still so much attractive. Should she speak to her? Yes, certainly. And now that she had paid, she would tell her all. Why not? She thought she should go and talk, and now she can tell everything because she had paid all. She approached her. She went there to her, said, "Good morning, Jeanie." Her friend did not recognize her and was astonished to be so familiarly addressed by this woman, this common personage. Means she had changed a lot in those 10 years, so she did not recognize her. She was surprised कि who a woman looking like so poor addressing her so familiarly. She stammered, "But madam, I do not know. You must be mistaken. I am not able to recognize." Mean to say, no, I am not mistaken. I am Matilda Loisel." Her friend uttered a cry of astonishment. "Oh, my poor Matilda, how have you changed?" "Yes, I have had some hard days since I saw you. Since we met last time, I had faced some hard life and some miserable one. And all because of you." "Because of me? How is that?" "You recall the diamond necklace that you loaned me to wear the minister's ball? Do you remember that diamond necklace you gave me to wear the party?" "Yes, very well." she said. Well, I lost it, she tells. How is that? Since you returned it to me? I returned another to you exactly like it, and it has taken us 10 years to pay for it. You can understand that it was not easy for us who have nothing. But it is finished, and I am decently content now. I am satisfied because it is over now. Madame Forestier stopped short, surprised, shocked. She said, "You say that you bought a diamond necklace to replace mine? That you are saying?" Yes, you did not perceive it then, means you could not recognize it then, you did not check it closely. They were just alike, they look very similar. And she smiled with proud and simple joy because she had bought it a diamond necklace and paid it back. That is why she was smiling with proud. But Madame Forestier was touched and took both her hands as she replied, saying that, "Oh, my poor Matilda, mine were false. They were not worth over 500 francs. Oh, my dear poor Matilda, my necklace was false diamonds. They were fake. They were not real diamonds. Oh, they were not worth over 500 francs." Now, this story is complete here. So, I hope you understood it very well now. But how we saw that the necklace which was not worth above 500 francs, that cost Matilda her whole life just because of her discontent, dissatisfaction. So, the story completes. That is all for now. We will be doing the question answer now. Okay, that is it for now. Thank you. Bye bye.